that might work. I believe I have all the pieces and parts covered. Unfortunately, this lamp is not working, so poor lighting quality. But here we go. This is the bow. Seen it before? And then the repair I did with Gorilla Glue because it was delaminating like pages in a book. So are the days of our lives. Now I am confident that that repair would hold up over time, but I've had some requests to do something using alchemy, DevCon home, 2-ton epoxy, and I wound up buying the longer curing stuff. I think this is 30 minutes. I would have gotten, excuse me, I would have actually bought 1 hour or 2 hour, but they didn't have it. My theory is when I take this epoxy and I mix it down with acetone, and I'll explain a little bit about the history of this in the ratios and stuff, but I felt the longer the curing time, the more benefit I would get from this Massey finish, and I'll explain that, on the belly of this bow to keep further delamination from happening. The longer the curing time, the more it can soak in. But hopefully 30 minutes will work. Now the theory behind this is you take epoxy and you can mix it down with acetone. Now depending on who you ask, it turns out that some people will say you can mix it 4-to-1, or you can mix it 10-to-1 with good results. This tells me doesn't matter. 4-to-1, 10-to-1, whatever. So I'm just going to mix it in my cleaned out little thing there, little can. I'm going to mix it until it's thin enough to make me happy. That's it. And we'll see how that goes. Lesson 1 is, this is called the Massey finish. Acetone and epoxy thinned out so it makes a nice waterproof, humidity-proof finish that's bulletproof. J. Massey, bowmaker, traditional Boyer's Bibles fans came up with this. I absolutely did not come up with this. I stumbled across it somewhere. Tightwad Todd in Nevada is very familiar with this. Hopefully you'll chime in, Tightwad. It's always nice to hear from you. But yeah, J. Massey would go hunting in the most extreme, horrible conditions. Horrible is subjective. You know, some people, what he calls hell, you call home, kind of a thing. Rambo reference. With sinew-backed Osage orange bows. And so he would do this, and it would make those sinew bows. I might as well start opening stuff while I'm yapping. Make those sinew bows impervious to rotten wet weather. Okay, DevCon. Open, come on, get on there, cats. I said previously that the only time I ever had an outright failure on one of my rawhide paddle bows was when I did the Massey finish on the rawhide. I think it reacts a little different than sinew. The rawhide, perhaps a little more porous, allowed it to soak in and become just brittle, and it just cracked. So I wouldn't recommend using the Massey finish on rawhide unless it's an experiment. Be very careful and wear your safety goggles. That's all I'm going to say about that. On this sinew-back bow, I probably could get away with the Massey finish, but I'm not. I put a couple of layers of polyurethane or urethane spar varnish on it. So here we go, sports fans. Will this work out? I don't know. Chances are it might, but I'm fearless. That's how I learn stuff, just by being silly and fearless. I don't know how much I need on here. I'm just going to mix enough. That's as much resin as I want to soak in there. So that is exactly as much as I need. And I pull that thing back there so it stops squirting out. Oh, I hate these little wrappers on there. I know hate's a strong word, but I do. This is a one-way brush. I didn't want to risk using a foam brush and having the acetone melt it. So I just bought a cheap little artist brush here, because I consider myself an artist. When I'm done putting this finish on here, I'm going to toss the brush because it's not going to be good for anything. As far as mixing this stuff, I have no idea. Intuitively, I think that you could mix the acetone with it and then combine it, but I'm going to combine it first and then mix the acetone. And it would be nice to know, can you just mix the whole thing with the acetone? It seems like you could. Just 2 parts, throw the acetone in there and mix it. It might mix better. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna throw some more in there. Why not? We're all brave here. Foolhardy, brave, it's all the same. There we go. Yes, Mittens. Mittens is a warrior's name. There we go. That's definitely enough. I'm not going to measure things. I'm just going to pour some acetone in there. Because that's how we roll. Point 1, you're getting an idea. What can I do with my sinew-back bows if I want to hunt the swamps of Louisiana? The Massey finish. Well, I've got this bow, and I want to put a finish on it, but I'm afeared. I'm not 100% confident. I never did it before, so I don't think I will. Lesson here is just go ahead. I kind of chuckle because I view bows as a love-hate relationship. In that, in some cases, you gotta treat your bow like you hate it. Like you just don't care about it in order to make like strides as a bow maker. Because if you're too cautious, you're not gonna make any forward progress. Such is life. So endeth the lesson. Hey, that's exactly 2.7 to 1. Let's see if that works. Boy, this is some thin stuff. Made it too thin. Let me get another container. Wow, that's really thin. There we go. This is funny. We're going to see how you can screw this up and still have it turn out okay. Let's pour some more of this stuff in there. This should give you confidence. If I could like screw this stuff up so bad and it still works, then you can do it if you actually take your time and do it right. Ooh, I think something's happening here. Time to brush this concoction onto this bow that I like so much. Okay, let's put more of this stuff in here. By gum, I think we've done something. Okay, it looks like actually a pretty nice finish. It's soaking in nice. It's giving a nice look to this oak. Adventures in bow making when you don't know what the hell you're doing. Fear and Loathing in Bow Making World. Hunter S. Thompson. You can quote me on that. Should probably buy a decent quality brush. God, these things where the bristles fall out are frustrating. Thank you, Ace Hardware. Oh man, this paintbrush is pathetic. God, it's shedding hair faster than Telly Savalas. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy throwing this stupid brush away. Brush it on the sinew. Yes. Use it all up. Unfortunately, I am bound to use this video because it's done. I'm not going to do it again. And that is the jig. These blocks slide along this rail so I can adjust the length of it. That have made many a sinew-backed bow on. You can see the repair right here, Gorilla Glue poking out, and then along that line there. Well, that is all. Thank you for watching, for putting up with this mayhem. And if nothing else, I demonstrated that I didn't know what the heck I was doing here. So let's see if this works.